Hello, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. The past few weeks have been pretty chill. I mentioned in the last video that I was still working on Christmas gifts. I had 2 Christmas gifts that I hadn't finished post actual Christmas, one of which was the felt to dogs that I did complete and I showed in the last video. And then the last thing I had to finish was a beaded curtain, which is now complete as of today, January 27th. I finished it on the 25th, actually. That's done. So I am free from Christmas gifts, finally. And that was mainly because of I had other things to do. So I didn't get everything done before the holidays, but also the friend that I made the felted dogs for, I saw her like a week and a half ago. And so I didn't need to finish it by Christmas. So she got hers. And then the beaded curtain I'm giving to my friend. I see her at the end of February. I also didn't want to send it to her via mail because I was scared of what could happen to it in the mail. I've never shipped a beaded curtain before and I was nervous. So we're just gonna take it with us when I go see her at the end of February. A lot of this week's vlog is the beaded curtain, mainly just showing you some of the process. It's a very easy, I feel like, and repetitive process. I didn't do almost any research. I don't even know why I say this anymore because I feel like I say this for everything. I'm like, I kind of looked into it and then just kind of did whatever. The only thing I looked into was finding the actual hanging strip to use for the curtain. But aside from that, I just found a couple patterns, asked my friend which one she liked, and then went from there. I definitely want to make one for myself, so that'll be on the list. I have so many things I want to make for myself. First of which is going to be a beaded purse. Now that I'm done with gifts, especially beaded purse. I made 2 beaded purses last year and they were both gifts. So I want to make one for myself this year. I already have the beads and I know what pattern is going to go on the bag. I just need to figure out the actual design of the purse. Yeah, I don't know how I want it to look like exactly. So I need to figure that out and then I can start working on it. This week's video is mainly the beaded curtain and then just some blips of what's been happening in between the holidays and now. It's mainly been me chilling and working on gifts, so not much, but I did visit my friend in Houston like a week and a half ago and that was so much fun. We were mainly catching up and chilling, and I am actually gonna go to Japan and Korea with that friend at the end of this year. So we were, or not the end, in October, fall. So we were planning some of that and flight is booked, so I'm excited. As we went to some trinket stores, etc. It was fun to just look around and bop around. And then also visited a K-pop store. One of the highlights for me was visiting a museum there. It's called the Asia Texas Society. And they had an exhibit on anime and pop culture that was so good. So I included some clips of that as well, mainly of the art. We mostly just thrifted and shopped around. We also thrifted at one store, but it was kind of meh. And the prices were kind of crazy. I really wanted this Dr. Pepper jersey, but it was $12, which I feel like was too much. I feel like $5 would have been great. They were pissing me off, so I didn't buy it out of principle. But yeah, it's mostly just been me working on the beaded curtain and that little trip I had with my friend. Aside from that, it's been pretty, random spurts of stuff that you'll see included in the vlog. But yeah, I have some things I want to work on this year, projects and such. So hopefully we can get into some of that together. So I have the bead strands hanging on this poster hanging strip, which is where the bead curtain will remain indefinitely. And I have that zip tied to one of these foldable desks from IKEA. I love these things. You'll see I have my other one set off to the side in a second, but the bead strands essentially just slide onto the poster hanging strip and you can just kind of crack it open and slide the beads on there. So here I have my materials, which does include the Diet Coke. And the materials include just my beads, scissors, thread, of course, that I'm using, and then the beading needle. You'll see that in action later. And of course, my beautiful boy Dante, the best helper in the world, keeping me company. This is what a lot of my days look like working on this. I am watching Pretty Little Liars, and as you can tell, it is still Christmas time in this video because I worked on it in thirds. I worked on the curtain in thirds. I did this part by the end of the video, which you'll see, which is about a third, then the middle, and then the last third. And I'm essentially just following a grid. You can see it, you'll see it closer in a second, but you can see it under my beads there. And I'm just following that, beading everything according to the graph, marking it off as I finish that row so I can, or not row, in this case it would be a column, and continuing to the next one. Before I even started beading, you can tell if you look closely on the pixel graph, I number all the columns individually with the amount of beads of which color and in which order they were in. This made the process so much faster than if I had been doing this on the spot, where if I was counting as I was beading. And I still was, as you can see here, I was double, triple checking my work, because if you make a mistake, obviously you have to cut it and start over. It's good that you're only working a strand at a time, so mistakes are very easily fixable, but still trying to avoid those. Once I finished threading the beads, I just double knot everything and put the thread through some of those extra beads and put it off to the side. So I'd work on 5 to 10 at a time, 5 to 10 bead strands, and then I'd work on putting them on the actual hanging strip. I wasn't going one by one because I felt that was inefficient, and I think it was ultimately because I started out that way. So here I'm just going to keep going and adding all the strands that I worked on until I get that complete third. And here I'm just moving it off to the side, since that's going to be the left corner. And that little portion is done. And I just kept doing this until I had a full curtain.